back to your regularly scheduled Saturday programming. Here again, once more, of course, with the one and only Zerilath Eternal and his awesome readings. And before we get started, if you like these kinds of readings and you want a more personalized one, then contact Zerilath at yahoo.com. Trust me, they're worth it. You know, we do like little snippets here, 10, 15 minutes. But they're absolutely doing worth more, worth longer, worth more in depth, if you will. So contact him at zerilath@yahoo.com. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. And if you feel like supporting the Greyhorn Pagans podcast, become a channel member or subscribe to our Patreon at patreon.com/Greyhorn Pagans. Or get yourself some merchandise. Everything can be found on our website, www.greyhornpagans.com. So, without further ado, Mr. Zerilath, how have you been doing? How's your week doing? How's your week been?
I'm all right. I've been just adjusting to my pay schedule on the unemployment while I am working things out with the way our field of work is over here. Just my part of the country doesn't know what it's doing, and so it doesn't really like having a large available labor force. So there's not a lot hiring for just that kind of stuff. And that's the state's own fault because it puts a lot of red tape on certain productions because we regulate the hell out of everything in my neck of the woods.
Of course.
Yes, yes. Like I talked about last week, there's the whole bit. It's like America's a very on your own kind of country, but you could get retarded wealthy if you know what you're doing, you know.
Yeah.
You know. But Europe, you can't get retarded wealthy, but at the same time, you're not even really allowed to be on your own. It almost seems.
You can get retarded wealthy. It's a little more effort. I would say that in the US,
Well,
the
can you get
system is set up easier
well, yeah. I
that
mean, like,
way.
can you get retarded wealthy without the government being your client? Like, like, uh,
Yeah.
you got like your big banks and other kinds of corporations and whatever in Europe, sure. But then but also it's just like who's big that's like in between the guy who opens up a little shop and the guy who's like the corporate whatever, right? Like
So like who is like
who's
middle management
who's
of
making
rich?
money just off of buying and selling stuff to people and not having a contract with the government where the government's giving you money to provide a service to the state, right? Like Elon, this is why I don't like Elon Musk. It's like he's only wealthy because the government's agreed to give him money, right?
Yeah.
And his production is more fantasy than anything else as far as what as far as what we see, but the infrastructure is something to be desired.
I mean,
It's
yeah,
it's
do we?
whatever. It's he is not building a future that I want. He is building a future that he thinks that I want because I once bought a ticket to go see Total Recall or RoboCop or something. It's like, oh, Steve enjoys dystopian movies. That's obviously because that's what he wants. But
Totally.
unfortunately, too many of my fellow Americans actually do project that desire, right? They'd rather live in a dystopian future where they are slaves than a feral future in which they are free.
Yeah.
Yes, they desire to be a well groomed pet, which of course is first choice to the slaughter. But anyway,
That's a good question actually. I don't know if we really have stupid rich like Musk here in Europe. I mean, the Rothschilds, but I mean, other than that, like
right,
non royalty or like non connected to royalty. I Well, I mean, there is this clothing warehouse, clothing stuff, CNA,
okay.
that is Dutch. That family is worth about 27 billion.
Right.
Um,
I mean, like I mean, unless there's some government use for Legos, I suppose the Empire of Denmark
yeah,
has Legos, right? Like that's like I'd imagine that's fairly wealthy, right? Um, but it's not as common. It's not as common as in the United States, where like you can have all sorts of extraordinarily wealthy people in the mid range that people ain't gonna know about, right?
I mean, I just looked it up, just real quick. The number one richest is Bernard Arnault, who is the owner of LVMH, which incorporates brands like Louis Vuitton, Dior, and Moet and Chandon.
Hmm.
So the higher end brands, or what the plebs see as higher end brands. Amancio Ortega from France. He is the founder of Inditex and Zara, very popular clothing, at 124 billion. Then the jump to third place is pretty fucking big, because that goes from 124 billion to 40.6. The Red Bull heir, of course, founder of Lidl supermarket, is pretty wealthy, 41 billion.
All right.
Ferrero from Ferrero Rocher and Nutella, 43.8. So we do have them. We've got stupid rich. I'd say, yeah, of course, Heineken, Charlene de Carvalho, Heineken, from the just awful beer.
Hmm.
It's not good. It's really not good. But Heineken is more than just Heineken beer. It's a whole brand. It's a whole brewery. They've got several brands underneath them. So so we do have the stupid rich, but it's more families and like not as much individuals really.
Yeah, yeah. Because I mean, like you're not actually socialist countries, right? We just kind of say that because you're more in the spectrum because you've got so much government packaging for everybody that requires the hefty tax, right? And then the hefty
Yeah, I
tax,
mean we're not.
um,
Yeah, we're
yeah,
not true socialists, but
yeah,
definitely.
yeah.
How should I call it? Socialist adjacent? Is that a thing?
Yeah, something to that effect, right? Which that's the consequence of a narrative of World War II falling apart, where everybody thought we were just trying to stop fascism. No, 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 no. We actually just wanted to stop nationalism. Sorry,
yeah.
we didn't tell you that part. Wonder why.
Yeah. I mean, nationalism is, to any establishment, especially government establishment, it's quite
Yeah.
a threat, of course.
Yeah, exactly. You know, I told people, hey, look, I'd rather Greenland take care of itself, but they don't seem to be capable of having a population interested in taking care of itself, and Denmark's not doing a good job with all those Russian threats they've been making. That's been my attitude. I mean, like if like there's how I object to us taking Greenland, and then there's how you have objected to giving us Greenland, and it's just like, well, do you want us to fight the Russians or not? Eh? Eh? So, it's just using the lie we all believe against you, right? If
Yeah,
Donald
yeah.
Trump's evil, I can't even blame him for pulling that move. If he's evil, I mean, I can't fucking blame him.
Sure. What's up, Susie? Thanks for joining us. Hope your kids are all right. Ice storm. I heard that there is quite a cold spell in the U.S. The wifey Firefay is dealing with it as well. So
By
an inch of ice.
is
Oof.
horrid. An inch of ice or an inch of snow? If you're in South Carolina, I don't think you've got an inch of ice. I think there's a lot of other places that are going to have. I'm more likely to have an inch of ice, and I don't think I'm going to get an inch of ice. And our snow's not starting till. Well, okay, it moved up. It was going to start at 5. Now it's going to start at 4 a.m., but there also is a chance that there will be a precursor at 1 a.m. So, I don't know. We'll see. It's going to be partly sunny till like 5. So, it's like the storm ain't here yet, but it is like in the teens right now. It is cold. It is cold. Haven't reached
Yeah.
I can't remember last time it hit single digits. I don't think it hit single digits last year. But it wasn't too long ago that it did.
Single digits Fahrenheit.
Single digits Fahrenheit.
Okay.
Right.
Yeah.
So, that would be like, like -10 or something Celsius.
Yeah. Okay. I mean, where Firefay lives, she told me yesterday that it was in Celsius. I am still Dutch. It was like -14, possibly dropping to -17,
Yeah.
which is
I can
pretty
do
damn
okay with
cold.
temperature conversion with the metric system because I know that 0 is freezing and 100
Yeah.
is boiling. I was just like, okay, that's simple because it's observable in the real world, and thus I can know what it's at least 100 degrees Celsius, man. Because why? Because I'm making soup. That's why.
I mean, yeah, basically.
So it's over 100 degrees. That's what I know. Ah, yes, the fridge, the fridge, it's running a little cool. It's under 0 degrees.
The freezer might be, yeah.
Well, the freezer, there's something wrong with the fridge, so it's running cooler than usual.
Ah, okay, okay.
No, you're right. I fucked up and should have said freezer. Just pretending like I meant it that way.
Sure, yeah.
Yeah. So yeah. So that's the good old conversionary. Yeah. So I think we're good. I suppose we got Susie here, so I think we probably want to run with a read.
Yeah.
All right. All right. Yeah. She says it's 0 now. We were 9 last night, and she should be talking about, I'm assuming, Fahrenheit, unless she's playing with our Celsius joke.
It's actually pretty comfortable here right now. It's
Right.
almost 6:30 in the evening, and it's 4 degrees Celsius.
4 degrees. Yeah, that's all right. All right. Because I don't remember what, like, what is it, latitude or longitude is how far north you are.
That is longitude.
Longitude, yeah. So I don't know if you're along the same longitude line as us. So you might be in about the same environment as, like, here in America. Like, as opposed to, like, Finland, where, like, Finland or, like, North Russia or whatever is more like Canada, in the winter.
We are between 3 and 8 degrees east. So yeah, latitude, longitude. We are 52 23 north and 455 east. I don't believe we're at the same longitude. I believe that the let me look that up. Actually,
I'm like where I am is northeast of New York City. So just slightly northeast of New York City. So right,
no, we're up further north.
yeah, you're up further north, right? Okay. Okay.
Yeah,
So you probably get on average a colder winter than I do.
yeah. I mean, if I just take a stock world map, you're actually more in line with, I'd say, Spain and northern Africa, around there.
Northern Africa. No,
Yeah, yeah.
it's very cold in the winter in
No, but
northern.
that's because you're further west.
I guess I think by the time you're down that way, it doesn't add up.
I don't know what, why, how, why, shizzle. This is just a
Yeah.
very
So yeah.
stock map. So
Well, yeah.
um,
Okay. Right. Right. Well, okay. That is not. Hold on a second. I need to put.
I mean, this is like, by no means is this an accurate map, but this is just to kind of give an
Right.
idea
Right.
of where
Yeah. No. Where
we're
where
at.
I where I am
Because
is.
Netherlands is actually, like, we are right here, like this freaking speck right here.
Yeah. 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 No, you're
So
much.
we
Okay.
are well into Canada.
Right. Like the Arctic Circle area is going to be roughly.
I'd say it starts about here ish.
Right, right. It's kind of hard to, and nobody can see my cursor, because to get an idea of our longitude is, this is a horrible map for getting that. You need to literally have to use an Arctic Circle map, which would be similar to a flat Earth map. Just like the map they use for the UN.
Yeah.
Circle map, and then if I go here, is he making me look at it now? Wait, nope. Go
Ah,
back. It's not right.
I got a decent longitude, long, long, lang long, lang
Yeah.
long.
Yeah.
Chinese.
All right. So if I look at this one, yeah, here we go. All
So
right.
I got
So
I
if I
got
look
I
at
found this is a decent
Canada,
long
all right.
map.
There's Poland, there's Germany, right? There's Denmark. Yeah, because you're further down than that. Yeah. Okay. Okay. The Arctic Circle is not even. Because we're not actually near. I'm not near the Arctic Circle. You're not near the Arctic Circle.
No, Netherlands is well definitely
Way,
further
yeah, way,
south
way
than
too
the
far
Arctic
south.
Circle.
The point is that a top-down map would give us a more accurate look.
I would say that the Arctic Circle starts. I think they on the map that I have here. If you see the like more of
I
the
would
dotted line, I
maybe.
think that is about where the Arctic Circle starts.
All right.
So let me try and yeah, I'd say that like this line here is probably indicative of where about the Arctic Circle starts. That looks to be about right. Yeah. So that would be what 60, 66, 67.
All right. So if this map is stretched properly with these longitude lines, then yeah, we're like, what line is this? I'm in this square where it goes where you see all of New England, right? Up,
So right about
north. Yeah, yeah, right where you're circling. That's square,
yeah.
which is going to be the same weather as France and Germany and yeah, because
Yeah. So you're yeah.
we're roughly in the same zone, but there's a big difference between the 40 this 10-degree difference is huge, and even the what I would say is about a 7-degree difference if you're trying to get up to the north of Maine. Like
Mm-hmm.
north of Maine is wild, and you're going to get those Canadian weather weather levels in that part.
Yeah.
It's probably colder in Maine than it is in the other parts of our northern border, especially because of all the Arctic Sea weather. So anyway, that was quite a side quest from
Yeah.
giving Susie.
And Susie actually has to go. She has
Yeah.
lots
Okay. All right.
of drama, unfortunately.
Yeah. Okay. I'm sorry, Susie. We probably should have gotten. So catch this. Catch this later. We're gonna run
Catch
through it for you.
yeah, catch it on the
This is for
replay.
Susie to catch later. So Susie got 18. Corruption. Creating success from the source, fruitful to cross the great river. Before the seed day, 3 days. After the seed day, 3 days. Interesting. It's called corruption, but then it doesn't have its flavor text is not very corruptible sounding. So let's get into the back here. Corruption. Something dark under the surface of life, manifesting as patterns of negative experience. This comes from our past, our parents, or our culture. It's time to examine those old patterns to understand where they come from before you can tend to the growing seed of change in your life. What is behind this trouble? What is the hidden cause? Well, this gets into generational curses, family curses, collective, national kind of karmic like connections and things. The quantum entanglement of undesirable underlying issues. That's kind of what this is expressing. And see, I find this before the seed day, 3 days, after the seed day, 3 days. Is that supposed to be a reference to watering it? like water the soil 3 days before you plant it, water it for 3 days after, and that will weed out corruption or something? Is that the idea? It doesn't quite explain that. So that one's kind of left to a little bit of a mystery. We'll see how it correlates with the rest of the cards. So, we have the Elder Owl as your guiding spirit. Trust your inner knowing. Then, in our focus position, we have the Mirror reversed. So, this kind of sits here, and with the theme of corruption as explained on the back of the card, this is where I can see why this is coming in as focus, right? Because this self-reflection, it now gets the context from this card of not necessarily being inherently personal, because it's personal, but it's personal in relationship of discerning yourself from that which does not serve you, that you've inherited from your collective identity through parents, family, and greater tribe. Right? And so it's looking for that time and reflection of this that has been lacking, is the principal message. And we have soul with it. And so that's always that simple and self-evident soul-searching reflection, right? You know? Gets into all sorts of questions of what we tell ourselves that we are and are a necessary part of our identity. And we often have a lot of trouble letting go of that when it's a destructive habit. As if there's something sacred about it because of what you've been told it means by others who live by this example, that you feel like you're connected to, that you feel like, well, that's what our people do. That's what our family does. That's what my parents did. In our origins, we have 3 of bows, fulfillment. So there was an aspect of this trait that was very satisfying, right? It used to serve, right? You know, you remember it not being a hindrance upon you. It was fulfilling. Fulfilling, and this is reinforced again by Gabo, right? So there's an acknowledgement of value here, right? There's acknowledgement of value and purpose with the fulfillment. But what is it worth to us now, Verdandi? Well, our generosity has been inhibited. So this following something that had a Gebo as part of its origins, right? This is the consequence of ignoring the limitation, right? That perhaps there needs to be more fulfillment poured in, because the increase in the Gebo is going to be an opportunity to restore the principle of generosity. And even more backup on this is Fehu here, right? And it's upright, but Fehu's upright, right? So you're dealing with the fact that there's a value inherent in the thing now, yet still, right? It's not a worthless thing. Then we have 9 of arrows. Dedication. 9 of arrows. Dedication in our sense of what to do about this thing. So, it could be more calling to the idea that you perhaps have corrupted the good in something of the collective, right? You know, just like how all of us here are people that are reseeking our connection, our relationship to our ancestors, to our culture, to our own goddamn history, right? And you could be trying to bring it back, and you're supposed to, but you're dealing with a corrupted product, if you will. But you are meant to be dedicated to this purpose. And Ingvaj, you're dedicated to it because it's making the transformation that you are looking for. Let me see. I'm going to expand on this one a little bit, and I'm basically going to do some reinforcement pulls on it. Just because, you know, Susie was the only one who came through today, so
Yeah.
we're gonna give her some bonus time before I go to her whisper. So, what is reinforcing our focus position with this issue in the mirror? We have the 7 of bows reversed. So, you haven't reflected because you haven't cleared your vision of this mirror, right? You know, you have to scry through your mirror, your black mirror, and you've draped your clothing that you're drying out over it. You've plastered it with pictures of your family and your dog and your loved one, and it's just like there isn't enough room for you to take in yourself and the context of where you are, because you've got all these obstructions in front of your reflective point of focus, whatever that represents in your life. And so, I mean, it's the clearing that we're talking about with the 7 of bows, and then you got Hagalaz with it too, right? So, you know, you're clearing this thing out, but it's very much an internal cleansing process. Hagalaz is a great rune for purging corruption. All right, the reinforcement on our origin of the situation. We have the fulfillment with Gebo. Now we have 9 of stones and tradition. So there was a traditional basis for this. This is further reinforcing my my hypothesis as to what the fates are really trying to say here. Tradition as well as Uwaj, right? So it's the embrace of the tradition is going through its natural process of stripping all the falseness that modernity was putting on you. So when you have these changes, it can often kind of disorient your internal guidance compass, if you will, when it comes to how you just navigate people and markets and other aspects of your life that are reacting to the changes that you have made, putting yourself apart for yourself. So what's reinforcing our problem with the generosity? All right. So the generosity is being pulled back because you're balancing something underneath of it, right? And you're finding that in that balance, it is difficult for you to take what you do have and be generous with it. And we have Othal, right? And so this balance is in the home. It's part of the home security problem. So it's just that reflection of things are tight right now. Things are tight right now. And 10 of bows, responsibility, right? So you've got the dedication with the arrows at 9, and then the 10 of responsibility with the bows. That's pretty extraordinary as a result underneath which, right? So you're dedicated to this, and it's coming from a deep sense of responsibility. And man, yes, a deep sense. I was right. Laguz has been pulled. So this responsibility is coming from a very deep, archaic place in your heart. So that is Susie's reading. I'm sure I've just solved several problems for her.
As usual.
And now I'm going to give her her whisper in the woods, and then after that we can probably start to wind it down for the week.
Mm-hmm.
We have uncertainty. Uncertainty. The shades of gray within the fog will eventually lift. So yeah, give the time of Niflheim a time of Passover, if you will.
Well,
So that's Susie's read.
well, Susie, whenever you catch this on the replay, as I'm sure you will, do let us know in the comments what you think about it. Let us know how it resonates with you. Zerilath's readings are always very powerful and very much on point. Yeah, a couple of slow weeks. I guess it's the new year. It's the winter. Everyone is still in hibernation mode. But that's all right. That's all right. We will be here every week again, for as long as it takes, for as long as it lasts. And yeah. Any last words? Any final thoughts?
I can't think of anything. Everything's good on my end this week. Pretty simple.
Okay. Well, then I don't really have much else to say either. Other than check out Zerilath on YouTube. If you like these readings, do book a private reading. Contact him at zerilath@yahoo.com. These are just, like I said, these are just snippets, just quick pulls, if you will. If you really want to have your fortunes read and your mind dug into, get a private reading. It's absolutely worth it. Um, I got an amazing new show coming out next week with Brady Nash from Apocalypse Historia. It's been freaking 2 years since I last had him on the podcast when we were doing synchronicities.
Mm.
This time we will actually be talking about the god of the Goths
Uh,
and the connection between between the Goths and Odin, really. And trust me, he has the whole he's made a whole presentation, and knows how to do his research. So check that out next week, next Saturday. Enjoy. Before we go live, it airs live at 7:15 a.m. my time. So you have the whole day to enjoy it. I will be on the show tomorrow with the guys from the Esoteric Archives, repaying the favor for having them on the Greyhorn Pagans podcast. A couple of Canucks, new to the occult scene. So show those guys some love. The check out the episode that I did with them on Vinland, and we haven't even touched on everything there is about Finland just yet. But for that, you'll have to go to their episode about Finland. They really did a deep dive. And I guess for everything else, check out the channel, check out the Graham Pagans podcast. All support is much welcome, either via just liking, sharing, subscribing, commenting, or, a YouTube channel membership or Patreon at patreon.com/GreyhornPagans. So, yeah, I guess with all that said, thank you all so much. Until next time, until next week, same place, same time, same two heathens. And, yeah, catch you all then. Later, guys.